there. Hey, that's easy. So what we're doing is we're hitting the root here, the fourth, and the two, and here's our D minor half shape, not involved with Locrian. This is completely D minor seventh. Why does it sound like a Locrian? I don't know. What are we doing wrong here? We've got the four, we've got the root, we've got the four. We're not hitting our six. Oh, okay, we got to hit our six. Yeah, okay, so we've got to do these four notes right here. Root 4, 6, 2, okay? So, whatever fingering you can do to get those guys like that. That's a D minor half shape. It displays itself in the Lydian box. Okay, in the Lydian box. What's our 1, 4, 5 in the Lydian box? Where's root 3, 5? Is the best root 3, 5 we got here is up in the A shape. We've got A shape, okay, 5 root 3. We've got 5 root 3 right here, but that's a C shape. So the C shape, this is a C shape half shape going to a D minor shaped half shape. Okay? How do we do that C shaped half shape? I don't know if we particularly have that up in the Ionian box here. Let's see if we got it. We're in the Lydian box here. The C-shaped half shape, right there it is, C-shaped half shape. That seventh that we're going to be adding is the 7 for that C-shaped half shape. It'll be root 5, 3. We'd have to add this 7. I don't know why that isn't, because we've got just pentatonic here, and the 7th's not in that pentatonic. Okay, but that's the 7 we would add to get that half-shaped. All right, so I don't overstress my wrist on this. We're just going to be doing 5, root 3, and then this 7. You hear the major 7th ringing out. We have an open on the B string, and then this 5. So we could do something like this. We could do something like this, but I don't like to use my pinky. So again, we're back down here in the Lydian box. We're looking at a half-shaped D minor 7th. Again, the root shape would be a half shape in the Lydian box also, or we could take it up one. So what does D go? It goes to C, and we'd have here a C-shaped D minor there in the key of C. For the root, we have a C shape there, goes to an A shape. There's our 5 root 3 in the Lydian box, which is nice. It's nice because so we've got essentially A shape here. Okay, we're doing something in the A box. We can bar that A. We can bar an A. It's an easy bar. And then it goes to a D shaped F. Now let's take an let's take an opportunity to here to see the other sub. We've got V7, which is a 5-7 right here. Now we're not going to maintain the substitution shape. With the D minor, we would maintain that substitution shape. So here, up here, the D minor, we got this up here. We want to maintain that shape in this instance. We don't want to drop this down here. See, here's a nice little kind of a D minor 7th shape triad. We've got A, C, and F. Okay, A, C, and F. It's kind of a D minor 7th substitution there. has a nice chord switch to it. We're not going to do that. We're going to maintain the D minor shape and just add the 7th. Okay, well, guess what? When we add the 7th, we're going to lose our 6th there. We're going to lose our D minor. Okay, but the 6th is not vital to the half diminished, so we can do that. We can change the 6 to the 7 there. Okay, so we can do this right here, and we can go with the 4 there. All right, and here we have the cross of David right here. You see this? It's almost like a flower. It's got a stem, the 4, the 7, and it comes up into it blooms this G bloom here. We've got a bloom right there, or you can look at it as the mighty cross. You know, it's this thing of. Now where's it go? It goes to open string there, and then it kind of goes outward. So you got your stem, into the flower, and then it goes off like a flower would want to go in every direction there. So that's interesting. But again, we want to maintain that D minor 7th. So we would add the 4, we would add the 7 down here. Okay, so we've got our little D minor shape up, half shape up here. We've got our anchor shape up here. We've got this one, and the 4th looks like we're going to want to get that too. So we've got to do something like this. And look, it's got that classic diminished shape to it, but it's a half diminished. Sounds good. Now you people know that we tend to focus on the most difficult cages. The point is that, sure, you got a D plus 7 half shape here, but in another one of the cages, you know there's also a D7 shape here. So if we see a shape that's on the second, let's say, now you know, if rather the second of the 2 shapes. So there's 2 shapes in each of the big cages here. Here we have for V7 5, we have the A and the G shape there. Those are 5th shapes. Okay, let's just cut to the chase. So the D becomes the first shape in one of the other cages, and it'll be a half shape, for instance, in the Lydian cage. So we looked at that. Now let's look at the second substitution. The reason this is easy is because we don't have to maintain that shape. Okay, so if we're looking at a G-shaped, rather an E-shaped G7. Okay, well in this particular cage, let's put the capo down on the 2, and we've got an A-shaped G there, and we're going to play it as the 5th. Now, when you have an A shape and you want to see what is it the 5th of, what are you going to do? A shape is the raw 5th of its 4th. So it's the 5th of the D shape, so you got D, G, and A. It gets a little tricky in cage when you get to the C box and the E box, but for the D box, it's definitely D, G, and A. Okay, so what is the A shape the 5th of the D box? Alright, so we're going to do that substitution in the A shape there. First thing we do is the 7. So this is regular chord jargon, just play a G7. Okay, right there, or just, you know, it's just a A7 shape, you know, it's an A shape dominant. And then what do we do from there? Then all we're going to do from there, okay, so we've dropped the 5 to the 4, All right. Let's just scoot on up to the to this cage right here. Here's our A shape. Now I haven't. This is the entire pentatonic in the A shape, but I just want to show you this. 2, 5, 7, A shape as the mixolydian, as the fifth in the 2 box, in the D box. We take the 5 to the 4. All right. That's what we're doing. There's the A shape. The other notes in the A shape are 2, 5, then 2, 5, 7, and 2. This other 5 is going to present a problem when we do the substitution. Well, let's get down there and see what's going on. Here's the other 5. We're not going to want to play that, so we're going to have the 5 go to a 6. It's either going to go to a 4 or it's going to go to a 6. Now the easiest way to get this 5 to a 4 is just play the dominant 7. It's like saying here's a G7 and just remove the 5 and we've got a half diminished triad, 7, 2, 4. So here it is, right there. We've got, just playing this in this open string, we've got 2, 4, 7, and 2. 2, 4, 7, 2. What are we missing? Well, we could add a 6 there. So now we're going to go like this. We've got our 2. We added the 6, which is the 7th of the Locrian chord jargon. Okay, and that's it. Just, it's this easy. 6, 2, 7. Right there. Okay, 2, 6, 2, 4, 7, and 2. Or we could go to this 4. We can play with that, right? That's it. How did I make that chord? I started with an A shape, the 5th, because we're in the D box. Dropped this, added the 6th. Because we lost the 5 by dropping it to the 4, which is the dominant 7th of the mixolydian, 5 dominant, and just added the 6. Easy as pie. Okay, now we get the same exact chord by taking an E minor. So we've got taking an E minor and adding the 7th. You see how we arrived at the exact same 3 notes that we had 2 action fingers on by doing it as an E minor and adding the 7. Okay, instead of an E minor 7th. So that's it, folks. That's today's lesson, really, and we'll talk more about all the other shapes, but it's the same system for forming those Locrian chords. It's just find a very easy and familiar way to form those Locrian chords. Hey, keep watching Andy's free guitar chart videos for more information on this stuff. You guys are going to be great. Follow and keep watching.